I'd like to show you how you can actually put together an exam if you're used to using the Cloze function, C-L-O-Z-E function that's like in Moodle, in Connect. So if you go under Add Assignments and go ahead and click on Question Bank. All right, so it gives you this option in terms of what chapters. Of course, we don't want any of the chapters. So I'm going to click on create your own answers. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and click on this very next to the last option that says Worksheet. Okay, when you click on that, it opens up this screen here. All right. So in this screen, this first screen, it has the questions. So you're going to put your questions here. Again, if you have some additional detail you want, you can add it there. Random variables, and this is actually how I learned about it. So there is another, and I'll probably share a link where another professor is out there actually showing how, if you wanted, like I teach accounting, statistics, production operations management, finance, anything with a number. That's what I teach. So, so what he was showing that in this random variable section here, you could create one problem and then say, but sub in for X, a 4, a 6, a 9. And that way, each student will get a variation of the, a little different variation of a test, especially if it's mathematical, in terms of being, more math detail. So again, it has categories, media, if you need to upload a certain table or something. I'll show you how to do that. And this is where the magic happens over here in the worksheet answer area. So I'm going to click on here. So here's what you can do in the worksheet area. In other words, here's what I can do. You can literally do on a test, right? So some of the tests, again, it says AV can record on their course. Check all that apply, doesn't fool with that. But here's where I use it most. Label value group learning. Some of you may be interested. This is what I was interested in. I have problems that have multiple choice in it. Some that have numeric. Sometimes, every now and then, I'll use a fill in the blank. Some have true, false. You may even want to put an essay in. But for it to all be in one place for the student at one time. So I know I've always used, I've got very comfortable with using the Cloze function in Moodle, as I was saying before. And I like where I could do a stats problem and talk about the 6 or 5 steps, depending on how you break it down, but have it all on one sheet. So I'm going to show you how I basically do that. All right, so I'm going to come back here, and in the question area, like I said, you can name this, whatever, and I'll leave it at question 1. So it asks you here is the students can actually answer a variety of items in a single composite question. Now here's where you get the Cloze functionality that you get used to. So you can see all the different types of stuff that you would need. So what I would say now, so I have a little something typed up in Word. So I'm going to go over here, Word, and get it. I'm just going to bring it over. You can copy and paste function, works fine for that. And so here's my question, put it in there, and I'm going to increase my screen size. So again, if you want the font actually to be larger here, it does give you the option right now to increase it. 11, I don't know if that's probably what it is now, 12. So you can, you can make it as, I think it goes all the way to good big. All right. So, so now I've got my problem here. And like I said, the one function that they talk about and that random variable, like I said, depending on how you structure it, you can have it change this 36,000 to 34. So like I said, everybody's test could actually be a little different if you wanted to. So for me, my students would normally do, and this is a stats question. I usually say, okay, from this, give me the 6 steps, right? So the first thing they have to do is give me the hypothesis. So I say step 1, I need you to state what the hypothesis is, right? And so from this, This is something that is more of a multiple choice thing for them, right? So how I have it designed, I have another diagram. So what I want to put a diagram here, right? So that they could choose A, B, C, or D, right? Where they could actually make their choice from. So let me put here how you actually get them to select a choice. So here is how the McGraw here Connect Worksheet allows you to put different things in. So I'm going to put this in. I'm going to put down underscore. So that's two lines. And I'm just going to say hype, HYP, or HYP1. And then I'm going to go underscore. All right. So what I'm telling the worksheet that in this particular area, I want something. In this case, I want a multiple choice question. All right, that's what I want there. So, and doing so, I'm going to go ahead now and pull over my diagram. We're going to come back up to my hype one. So what it doesn't do, so like say for instance, let's say in this particular document, I actually have the A, B, C, D, the different hypotheses I want them to choose from, right? So if I go to my snippet tool, I use snippet a lot, or if I just landed on here like this and try to copy. Now, you know how it let me copy over the, the words with no problem. But when you go to copy a picture or diagram, it doesn't work that way, right? It won't let you work. So basically what you have to do is copy these separately, which is no problem. So for instance, let's say I want this, and I use my snippet tool a lot. Love my snippet tool. I'm sure students do too. And with the snippet tool, it's on everybody's computer. That's a really quick one too. If you just type down the word snip, if I can spell right, SNIP, you'll see that the snippet tool is there. I just always save it. I just have it down here saved on my taskbar, so I use it quite often. So anyway, so I'm going to take my snippet tool here, and I'm going to tell it, I'm going to, do something new, and I'm just going to highlight, in this case, what I want to show up on there. And let me redo that. Let's do it prettier. Snippet, make it new. All right, so it's asking what do I want it to snip. So I say, yes, snip this here from I. That's good enough, right? So it does that. Now what I'm going to do now is tell it just to save this. So I'll say File, Save As. And when I'm usually doing stuff like that, fling everything on the desktop and then delete it shortly after, because I don't like a messy desktop. So here, and I'll just say this is just the hypothesis, right? Based on, that's fine. So I save it, and it gives you different choices. I'm going to leave it as a JPEG. JPEG seems to work okay for it. So I'm saving it as a JPEG, so it's now saved. So if I want that diagram to show up here, I have to go up to the top, and where it says Media, I have to choose the file, and it has to be sitting here first before you can actually put it in there. So here's my desktop. I'm clicking on hypothesis, tell it to upload it. And as if I want to give it a short name, well, we can call it Hype 2, doesn't matter. And if I want any longer description, that's fine. Just say insert. All right. So now that's sitting there for me. So now I can go back into the question, and this is how this works. Go back down here into the into my test. If I click here, right, and then click where it has your image, click on image. And it says, hey, I want you to put an image in. And it says, well, what image do you want? So you notice when I say select media, that hypothesis JPEG that I saved there is there. And I said, oh, yes, that's it. You can see a quick preview. And so it has put it in there for me. Now, I think once it's in here, you can resize it. I was like, oh, that's huge, right? So you can resize it once it's in there. All right. So I might even make it a little shorter. So let's say I look at this particular problem here, and I could tell that it says determine whether there has been a significant increase. So for this one, this would be in chapter 9, and it's an upper tail test. So the answer should be B, right? So now I'm ready to deal with this multiple choice thing. So here's what you would do. So remember, I'm going to actually copy that so I know what I had. So I got this hype one. So in order to put that multiple choice box in that particular area. And then I want my multiple choice to go from A through I, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, right? So for that, I would, excuse me, I'll just go ahead into the worksheet, right? And so I say, hey, I want to add a multiple choice question. And it says, hey, what's the name? So what it's asking you for is what is, when you say underscore, and you type in whatever, it wants to know what did you type in, because that's what it's going to use to put your, to put your answer. So there's my hype 1, right? I hit OK. And it says, great, it knows it's a multiple choice. So then I can click into the multiple choice itself and then tell it what I want. So like I was saying, for that one, I know it's a B, right? So I'm clicking the correct choice. But of course, too, remember, it went to I, so you can add more choices. I'm just going to keep adding. What's that? E, yeah, I think I said went to I. G, H, and there's the I. So what I'll do here is still put the rest of the letters in there. E, F, G, H, I, boop. And now notice that here you have the opportunity to scramble the choices and things like that. So this I'll just leave as it is. And again, they do ask you, how do you want it listed? Do you want to drop down? Do you want it to just all show vertically or horizontally? In mine, I just want to drop down. That way it keeps the page. I keep that default. That works for me. All right, so once you have that in there, you'll hit Save Answer. So my answer should be B for there. I save it. And it's going through the process. It takes, did I hit the Save button good? I did. Save and exit, sorry. So do you wish to save the changes? Yes. All right. So that's in there now. All right, so if you wanted to do a quick preview, just to see what it's going to look like. Yes. So again, so to pull up what it looks like. So here's what it looks like right now. When it pulls it up, it shows you your answer, right? It shows you what the answer you put in there. But again, in terms of all the choices are still there, but it will default to what the answer should be. All right. So anytime you open, of course, the student won't see B. They'll just see hypothesis, and then they have to do what? They'd have to go ahead and then select. All right. So again, it shows us that. Now, I don't see, let me just go back. Let's close that out. Make sure my diagram did not go away. It did not. All right, so all right, let me hit, let's hit, I think I hit that save button. Question, are you wanting to continue and save anyway? Yes, I'm going to hit the yes button. All right, so I want to go back here now and look from this point, because I want to make sure that my table is in there. Yeah, so my table is in there. Yeah, I think when I check back just to make sure that was in, but I wanted to see what the whole thing looks like. So this is what a student will see. So like I say, we can still small that up. That's still pretty huge, right? What I have here. So like I said, you can again resize those, right? So they're, like I said, so it's not overwhelming, right? And hit save again, it'll take. All right, so we have that. I'm gonna go down here. So step 2 is another thing where I would ask them to select the level of significance. And this is also like a multiple choice thing. So I'm going to say score, underscore, underline. And I'll just say I'll just type the word level, underscore, right? And so same thing again, I'm just going to go to the top, go to the worksheet answer. Tell it I have something else I needed to do. It's another multiple choice. And with this one, please enter the name or the answer. So we're going to say, so I have to do level, L-E-V-L, hit OK. And from there, I'm going to exit, and it's going to say, yeah, do you want to save? Yeah. So it's going to save it. Question has no defined. Oh, duh, I didn't finish it. So at least it warns you haven't finished it. So in case you get excited like me. So there's only 3 possible answers, either 0.01. This one is at 0.05 based on our thing, 0.05, and Usually we test at 1, 5, and 10. So we don't need this one at all. Since we don't need it, we could just go ahead and delete that choice. So we just got choice A, B, and C. That's all they need. And again, I'll leave it just like that. Save the answer. So it looks like it's saved in. We're going to exit. Yeah, we sure do wish to save changes. Yes. All right, so when I go back here, like I said, to my question, it should be in there just fine. If I want to see what it looks like, again, I can go up to the preview and get a feel for what the students will see when they open it up, right? So when they open it up, and it looks like I'm stuck with that being big. So here's what I would say, and I guess it just kind of depends. I would say when you bring this over, probably find your right sizing. And I think that's what I did do. So I realized when my document was pretty big, like when you use the snippet tool, right? Yeah, actually when it's this size, it brings a nice picture over, right? So for whatever reason, like if it's big and you bring it over, it stays big. But like I said, I think I snipped it small like this and it was just the perfect size, all right? So that's something to note, because again, it's staying big. Even though I'm smalling it up here, it didn't small up on the other page. All right. So next, I usually do something with numbers. So I'm going to go here. Let's go back in it, and so they give me the level of significance. So this is like one of those type of problem that has multiple things for you to do in it. And again, that's why I got so spoiled with the close function, because I had everything, like on that one page. So step 3. I probably would say select the test and calculate. All right. So again, with this one, in terms of selecting the test, I would then have another. So let me show you what I mean now. So I'm going to come over here now. So the test, I think, is on that same document that I had open earlier, right? So yeah, so the tests are over here. So I'm going to come over here with the snippet tool. So watch, if it's small like this and you access snippet over, it stays at a nice, of course, I can't see what all I'm snipping. Let's just snip from C to E. And you always can move that out. Oh, it stayed in the way. That's funny. Let's redo that. No, we don't want that. We just want to redo a new one. Yeah, so if the snippet tool is in the way, you can always sling it out the way. I didn't realize it was going to actually stay there. But anyway, so here's my table 2, and I'm going to go far as E. All right, and we'll just do that. So now, same thing I did before. I'm going to say File. Let's save as, and I'm going to call this, these have my test in it. Call it test, save it to the desktop so I know where to get to it really quick. Come back over here. In here, we'll do the same thing I did with the other diagram, which is go up here, add, oopsie, there we go, media, actually what's the media, choose a file, my file is test, then we'll go ahead and upload it, we'll just name it test, insert it. So now it's available for you to use on the test itself. So I'll go back into question, go down to that section. And I'm getting to the exciting part. It's time to put in the numbers, things I get excited about. All right, so go down here. And so I am going to insert the table. All right, so I need that. So if I go up here and again, click on the little graph thing, and now select your media. There's the test, JPEG. Yep, that's it. And it is now in the document. All right. So we can see there it is where I left it. So here, so like I might do the same thing like I did with the other one. So when I come here, I'm going to make a underscore. So underscore is the main thing, how this reads what you want. Underscore, I'm just going to type in the word test, underscore. Go up to the top to the worksheet answers and tell it to add one. This again also is like I said, you can see you do true, false, right? This would be more of a multiple choice too, and it should be A for this one. So here, please enter the name. So remember, it was test, EST, and we got to then you have to put the information in the test. That's the last one again. So this one again, we want them to select A, so it's already there. And remember, it went to E, A, B, C, D, E, so just add the E in there so they have all the choices. And then that does it. Hit and save your answer. exit, and then yes, we do want to go back. So it's all in there. Go to the question. And so that's in there. Now, for those who say, well, I have more finance and things like that, how can I use it? So you can imagine being economics, putting your graph in here that you need, or production operating, schedules in here. Now, what I do know also is you can actually put a table in here, right? From Excel, and it will allow the person, so like say it's something that you want the students to grab and then use in Excel, they can actually do that. All right. So the next part comes the calculation. So down here, right, we need them to do the calculation for the test. Right now, I haven't ran the test or done this, so again, don't check me for accuracy. I'm more just trying to show you how to use the function. So a calculation. What you want to do is the same thing you did before. So I'm going to say underscore underscore. I'm going to put z test underscore underscore whatever, and then I'm going to go back up to the top, and now I'm ready to put something in that is of numeric in nature. So you will go to your worksheet answers, and then I'm say, hey, I got something I'm doing. And you have the numeric response. You want to push on that. Enter your, it says, please enter what it is. So I called it a z-test, all right? And I hit OK. And then click on the z-test, and it's going to ask you, well, what's the correct answer? So I'm just going to, I don't know what it is. I haven't ran it, but let's say the answer is 1.57, all right? Again, it says response width. Usually 7 is good. I don't fool with that. Precision. Now, in terms of, because I deal with rounding up, rounding down, sometimes all the students don't always round right, but I can say I can hit what I call absolute error. You can do a percentage of the error or absolute error. I kind of like absolute error. So what I'll say in this problem, they can be a 0.0. I always like 3. So if they're 0.3 off, up or down, plus or minus, they still get credit. Or if I'm really want to be serious, or I can say they could be 1 point. So in other words, it's saying if they don't round, right, it won't penalize, if they don't round, again, they still get the credit for it, so if it's, in other words, it's 1.565 and they just left it at 1.56 and they didn't round the 6 up to 7, it still will give them credit, right? Again, if it's, like I said, now watch here, it says formatting pattern. Now this is important. So for formatting pattern, like you can put in, like if I want, I can put in point and then pound. In other words, if I know I only want 2 decimal places, 3 or 4, you can put it like that so it'll show up like that, which is pretty cool. Your answer will show up like that, all right? So I'm going to leave it like that. So that's really what my answer looks like, a number, period, pound number, all right? And so we say, yep, that's it. We'll say, go ahead, that's our answer. Save the answer. We'll exit us, ask us, do you wish to save any changes we did? Yes, please. All right, so now when I go back to, let's go back to the question and let's look at what it looks like. All right, so we've got that. So like I said, if for those who are used to using the close function, you're used to writing kind of like, I thought I had one up. Kind of writing in its language. I think I closed it. But again, once you, get used to, really it's just a matter of going into that worksheet and always doing the underscore, naming it, and then telling it what it is. So let's look at it now. All right, so I'm going to go into preview. Yes, we would like to see it. All right, so watch what I said about the sizing. Like it wouldn't let me resize the table when I first put it in chunky. You would have to resave it and do it in, but again, so we can see everything is there, and I don't see this one. Let me make sure I saved it from here. I think you have to save that first screen in order for you to see your diagram. I only saved it on the second screen, so now let's go look at it. So remember to hit the save button so you can see everything you did do. All right. All right, there we go. It should be there now. All right, let's make it big. All righty. Yeah, so without hitting that save button, notice that my table 2 didn't show up. So here's what I was saying about the tables. whatever size they seem to be when you bring them over, you can't, even though it seemed as if it was allowing me to get it bigger or smaller, it did. So like I said, so I realized leaving it looking like this and bringing it over made it look perfect. Just depending on what size you want it to be, right? And like I said, there's no problem in redoing this, so you just delete that one. You can always delete things out of here too. Like I said, so if you wanted this resized, you could always, if you wanted to redo it, you can always click on there and delete it. So things are deletable, right? Control Z brings stuff back. So it uses the basic commands that you would have in Word. But this is just to show you still have that same functionality that I was getting in Cloze. I just had to now realize, I really want to thank the one gentleman who did, his whole thing was about the random variables and how the worksheet, you can work it. But he helped me realize that if I could do that, I could do all the other things in it as well. So this might be one problem, right? Then you could just go through and watch. And so like I said, that's one question in your test, right? Then you could go ahead and let me add a new question, right? So you could go ahead, not there, sorry. Let me get from here. Right, so yeah, so here it says, so watch this. I thought this was neat too. So I hit new, and it actually, I can come down here and say duplicate the current question. So in other words, if I know I'm going to use the same exact formatting again, you can kind of go through here, it'll pull it up again, and all you have to do is go in here and change height 1 to height 2, and it just gives you, like I said, a real easy way to do it. So again, here it says you want to add a new question. Again, you might want to add another worksheet question. And you just click on the worksheet question and begin doing what you were doing before. So like I said, so it's a really, really, really neat way of, like I said, having having that close function. So like I said, I can say duplicate the current question. And so it says yes. And so now duplicate, and it asks you where do you want to put it, before the question, after the question, So I said just duplicate, it's fine at the end. So now when I pull up the pull down thing, I have 2 question 1. So I would just go to this question 1 and change it from 1 to 2, right? So now I'd have, right, so now I'll be able to see that I have question 1 and I have question 2. What did I just hit? Has now be fine. So yes, all right. So I have question 1 and I have question 2, right? So now I can go into question 2, and it's just let me know, and I can change all my stuff in there, right? So I can go into question 2 and change, go in here, change this to the next scenario, call this, and actually you can leave it like this, because since it is a brand new question, when you go look at the worksheet answers, it brings all those same answers over. So all you have to do is just go in there and literally change your, maybe this time it's A, right? And then for, and then say, okay, and this time the level is not 0.05. This time the level is 0.01. So that's what I liked about it, because once I got that first one done, it allowed me to go ahead and quickly kind of make the next one. So in other words, I probably had fun doing this first one, but like I said, once I had one formatted, it was really easy for me to keep going. So that's if you do that kind of test. Now some, like I said, for a problem like this, you really want the problem all on one page so the student can keep looking back at it to make sure, and keep rereading to make sure they're going through it properly. But anyway, I hope this helps somebody. Like I said, I'm going to put the link in of the gentleman who was talking about the random variables, but by me watching him do this, I realized, if I do that for random variables, I can also then probably do it for everything else. And that's what I needed to see, that I couldn't find a McGraw Hill Connect anywhere to, how to work the worksheet like this. So again, if you like it, click it. You got any suggestions or anything else, or something else that maybe I don't know about this, I really would appreciate it if you share. Thank you.